What's up, everybody? This is Around the Boards. We got episode 9 coming to you. Bunch of goodies in the store. I won this past week's Powerplay segment. So we got the boys from the Blueshirts Breakaway joining us to talk about firing AV. We also have a Halloween segment for you since that's right around the corner. So stay tuned because this is about to be a spooky good episode. So let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Around the board.
What's up, everybody? This is Around the Boards. I am Dave, also known as Dez, to my good friends here, Rob and Dylan. Duncan, fellas, say hello.
Hi. Hi.
So Rob, starting with you, how was your weekend? How was everything?
Personally?
Yeah, sure.
It's hot.
It's
hot in Vegas still. It's 95 degrees.
dude, that's ridiculous. It was like a low of like 30 last night here. Frost advisories and shit, and
I turned my air conditioner back on.
I'm about to turn the heat on, bro. It's getting so cold.
How's Florida, Dunk?
It was 46 degrees this morning.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, it's like 60 in the mornings here, so you're kind of in that in-between stage in your car where it's like in the morning you turn your heater, then during the day you turn your air conditioner, then at night you turn your heater back on. It's weird.
That's fun. Yeah, it's like, and like, meanwhile, I'm still out delivering, and it's only been a high of like 60 or some stuff here, and I still got people like, "You're still in shorts?" I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm gonna be wearing shorts till the freaking snow's above my ankles. You know what I mean? Till the snow starts falling into my shoe. That's when I'm gonna stop wearing shorts because you sweat a lot on that job. Let's just say that." But
Sure.
anywho,
Let's talk about hockey stuff now.
yeah, there's been some headlines, huh? I mean, we could start with
You want to talk about the Kings because they won again and again and again and again.
Kings.
Not even the timer can beat them.
No, let's touch on that real quick. So that was legitimately the perfect face-off you could ever have in the National Hockey League. It was just everything was set up perfectly. They pulled quick with 0.8 seconds left.
0.9.
Whatever, 0.9. It wasn't even a full second. And like it's so unreal to even put into words. Like how not even a second when that puck drops, it gets to the guy. He wins the face-off.
Toffoli.
He gets to Kopitar wins the
Pronouns, mister.
Kopitar wins the face-off back to Toffoli, and not even a second it's in the back of the net. It's insane.
Not even a second. It was 0.9 seconds.
It was actually 0.8, I guess.
A full second. It was like the perfect face-off ever.
That's why in 3-on-3 overtime, you always got to have a center out there just in case. Bruins ice the puck. They can't change. They have Pasternak take a face-off, loses it cleanly, game over.
Oh, dude.
See ya.
It makes you wonder if they still had the timeout being called after icings. Like,
It doesn't matter.
No, but like, right, but like he.
There was a timeout called by the Kings.
Was there?
Yeah, because they pulled the goalie.
Yeah, but was there an actual timeout called?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The team that iced it can't call timeout, but the Kings call timeout.
I just
set up a play.
I just saw the highlight and I was in awe.
It's funny. On the internet today, I saw like the Bruins broadcast of it, and like after they ice it, the announcers are all talking about, well, there's only 0.9 seconds left. It's almost impossible for anything to happen here.
Really?
Right away, just face off, goal. He scored. They're gonna check the time, but he scored and the game's over.
That's awesome.
Right after they just said it's like nearly impossible for anything to happen.
Dude, but those LA announcers though, that was like
Jim Fox.
Oh, dude, he's like, oh!
Jim Fox is so emotional.
It's so awesome.
During the games in general, like there's a big. He's like, hey, oh, what a shot! Like for both teams.
I know.
That guy just loves hockey so much.
Dude, it was intense. It was intense. And like we said, it was legitimately the perfect face-off Like you couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Yeah, that's why the Kings called timeout to set it up.
He won the face-off. Dude, the puck went
Clean.
straight to his stick. Like he didn't even have time to pull it back. He just all in one motion. The puck got to him. It was just in the back of the net before he knew it.
That's the point of calling timeout to set up a play. That's the whole point.
Oh, dude, that was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive to say the least.
Is that more impressive than when Fleury stopped the puck on the goal line in the Stanley Cup Finals from the Red Wings? You remember that dunk? Any thoughts?
It was Toffoli's. No, I think it wasn't because that was in the playoffs to win the Stanley Cup. So I think that was.
Well, I was saying more exciting. I didn't.
Oh no, the Stanley Cup thing was more exciting, obviously, regardless of the team.
Okay. So saves could be just as exciting as goals.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I don't disagree.
unless you're anti-Ranta.
He's only played 4 periods or something.
Something,
Des?
and now
Defenders.
and now they just picked up what's his name off.
Oh, I love that guy.
What's his name? He's my favorite goalie.
Jesus.
He picked up Wedgwood off the Devils, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like,
And he's starting. So
yeah, because Ronta must have too much of a serious issue there with his injury or whatever. So
I was reading something today that they've already used like 6 goalies in like 10 games, or whatever, 12 games. They've had 6 goalies in their lineup already. That's more than the fucking Golden Knights.
yeah. So speaking of the Golden Knights, how about the news with Shipachyov?
The news that he doesn't want to play in the AHL sounds like Jonathan Drouin.
I mean, I could totally see the frustration with him. You know what I mean? And being brought up into the NHL, being called up and then scoring a goal in his first game. And then, I mean, I know he hasn't had any points after that, like the next 3 games after that, but then they sent him back down. And I mean, his contract was pretty sweet. 2 years, $9 million is pretty, it's a pretty good amount. But I mean, I could totally see his frustration with, basically getting swapped around. But then again, he does have to do his part as a professional athlete. Dude.
I don't understand. Don't sign the contract if you don't want to have the risk of playing in the NHL.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the Golden Knights management fault for having all those defensemen still on their team where they got to keep making roster moves almost every day. Like they just called up Shea Theodore, and they waived Griffin Reinhart and Jason Garrison too, I believe. So like even though they're winning, they're still making all these moves just because they have so many players like NHL contracts, and they got to figure out how to not lose anybody that they don't want to lose. But I'm pretty sure Shipachyov's gonna like get bought out or something and just go back to Russia.
Nobody forced him to sign the contract.
And I actually read that after the whole suspension thing now and that deal that Shipachyov never went back to Chicago after being sent back down, that they're ready to cut
ties with him.
Yep,
what I mean? And another NHL team's not going to want him just because of all his character problems like that, anyways. So
now
it's just like a lost cause now,
especially for sure. So
especially when you're making $4.5 million, like no one's like, yeah, I'll take him.
Right, and I mean it's now he has bad history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
it could be like a Radulov situation a few years ago or whatever. Wasn't he like?
Oh,
he left for a little bit and now he's back.
Yeah, well, he played like 2 or 3 years in Russia after that, though, didn't he? Before he came back. And when he came back, he was still under contract.
Yeah, wasn't he like getting drunk all the time off the ice, or he came to practice or games hungover or something?
Yeah,
I remember. But,
yeah, probably.
And then
sounds right.
So.
Yeah, but I mean, Radulov turned his career around now. He was free agent last year. All the teams wanted him, so I guess Shipachyov is still kind of young enough where he could, if he wants to play in the NHL later.
I mean, he's 30.
Like this season.
Yeah, now's the prime of his career. So.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, like this season, he's probably done in the NHL. So
I don't think
something. Well, is he going to play in the Golden Knights?
No, somebody will be dumb enough to try and pursue him.
Not for $4.5 million.
Yeah, if they have the money, why not?
Who has the money?
I don't know, but
nobody.
Also, that was a very nice transition there, Des. I appreciate it.
And you killed it with that transition to nothing.
Yep.
Awesome. Anyways, did you guys see?
Speaking of
Powerplay, did you guys see McDavid's Halloween costume?
No. What is it?
You want to take any guesses?
Is it Jack Eichel?
No.
But did you see that thing I sent you on Instagram?
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Tell them about it, Don.
Savage. Savage.
So there's like this NHL meme page on Instagram that posts memes and videos about NHL players, and apparently there's like locker room video of Jack Eichel like smashing his stick and breaking it in half because he's frustrated. And
Buffalo.
Yeah, because he's in Buffalo, and the tagline of the Instagram post is like, "Well, you're the one that signed the 8-year contract," and then Connor McDavid liked it on Instagram.
It says Jack Eichel's not happy. Liked.
What a savage.
But anyways, no, that is not his Halloween costume. What's your guess, Des?
I mean,
Connor McDavid.
I don't know. I mean, the dude is so like blah, like in his interviews. You know what I mean? Like he's no personality. He's just I went out there and I scored a goal and
I'm good at hockey.
But I can't. I don't know.
So he dressed up as Donald Trump.
Of course he did.
Because he's Canadian and he can do whatever he wants, I guess.
Of course he did.
And his girlfriend dressed up as the first lady, so had a little couple's costume going on.
That's classic.
What are you guys being for Halloween?
Nothing. I'm working tomorrow, so that's
nothing.
That's it. Working. But but speaking of Halloween, I actually had this, but I'm actually going to bring it up now. So I wanted to put you guys on the spot here real quick. Okay. I want to hear, it's completely off hockey topic, but it's totally okay. I want to hear what you guys think the top 5 best Halloween candies are.
5?
And I swear to God, if you say candy corn, I will go through you this computer and punch you guys.
Why don't we just do 3? 5 is too much.
You could do whatever you want, but
what defines a Halloween candy?
I
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So like if you went trick-or-treating, obviously we all remember as kids doing it and getting a big, bag, whatever, bucket of candy through everybody. What was like your favorites?
I liked whenever there was drugs in my candy.
Top 1.
Drugs. No, so
the opened wrappered ones.
Those
ones
sketchy ones that are like has like no name brand.
I don't necessarily have a top 3 Halloween candies, but
I would say Reese's. Is
I'm talking right now, so
Reese's.
So you're talking
number
about
1, Reese's peanut butter cups. I can't think of any other candy. Sour Patch Kids are my favorite candy.
Just name some that you like. Jeez.
What
It's
about
not that hard.
like the Milky Way or Three Musketeers or Kit Kats or Crunch Bars?
Is it my turn yet? Come on.
I used to go trick or treating in the really rich neighborhoods in Las Vegas, like
so you got king size,
like in Anthem or like or like in Summerlin, and you'd get the king size. Yeah, the king size.
No,
hell yeah.
Sucks living in New York because there ain't no rich neighborhoods.
And then I always used to go to the churches, and they did like a trunk or treat thing where people would like trick or treat out of the backs of their cars. Yeah, so that was the only time I'd ever be seen near a church because they were giving out free candy.
That's like the safe trick or treating.
That's like the safe trick or treating.
Yeah,
because everyone knows each other there. The whatever.
I don't know. That was those. I can't name 3. So
Sour Patch Kids,
Reese's, and Sour Patch Kids.
Hold on. How about Extreme Sour Patch?
No, just the regular ones.
How about berries?
No, just the regular ones.
How about the watermelon?
Nope, just regular ones.
Listen, I like Sour Patches. If you can't,
we can tell. Holy
my number
cow.
3 would be Skittles, probably.
Skittles, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Whoppers.
See, I didn't like a lot of the.
What's so funny about that?
No, sorry, Dunk. I love the Whoppers too, but Danielle makes fun of me every time. She's like, "How do you eat that junk?"
Des, I think you eat the other kind of Whopper.
You eat all the Whoppers.
I'm actually getting Taco Bell coming back to me right now when she gets home. Anyways, I love Whoppers too. Rob.
I didn't like a lot of the chocolates because Robbie knows that sometimes in Vegas it's hot for Halloween. So whenever you get chocolate and you get melted chocolate, like that's not fun.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, Reese's sometimes are melted, but it's okay.
That is a pretty interesting fact, though.
Yeah,
it's hot in Vegas. That's
no,
fact.
No, but like it's different. It's a completely different mindset compared to what we have here. Like I was saying, it was like 30 degrees last night and cold, and it's going to be cold tomorrow probably. Like only like a high 50, so we're not going to have that issue. But that's pretty interesting. I actually never thought about that.
What about candy apples?
No.
Or you know what I like? Those
King?
caramel apple lollipops. Those are the best.
Anyone that gave out anything besides candy on Halloween, skip their
No, I
house.
said the caramel apple lollipops. You know what I'm talking about? Like the green
Those are
ones.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good.
Those are great.
What about the
Talking about the
What?
blow pops.
what
No,
about the
not the
I
blow
like when
pops.
I like when my candy has razor blades on the inside of it too. No, I like the Mexican lollipops too. You ever
Oh
have
no, I don't like those. I don't like the chili on them.
those? Yeah, I
Mexican
know.
lollipops?
Yeah,
Fill me in here. I've never
it's
heard.
literally like sugar with like Mexican
It's-
spices on the outside.
Yeah, it's like mango flavored, like chili powder and stuff
Think of
on
one of
it.
those. Think of one of those caramel apple lollipops, but instead
But
of
instead of caramel, it's chili powder
instead of an apple, it's literally just sugar with chili
or mango or something. Yeah,
or mango.
weird.
Gross.
And then, do you ever remember Lucas, Rob? Do you ever have that?
Yeah, the little bottles.
Yeah,
Bottles
little
Lucas.
bottles with,
I don't like those either.
with Mexican seasoning, and you would just like,
Yeah, I don't like those.
yeah.
I do like those. I do like baby bottle pops.
Baby bottle. Oh,
And Fun Dip is good.
I like babies.
I like Fun Dip.
Baby bottle pops. Man,
I like Fun Dip.
classic.
That's
But
good. I like
my
eating the
top-
sticks of the Fun
my
Dip.
top three, obviously, I'm not going to say Reese's because, like I said, I freaking hate peanut butter.
Frickin',
Um,
frick.
But you know, I mean, I'm all chocolate here with this one. I think is I really enjoy Three Musketeers. I'm a big caramel like type dude. You know what I mean? And crunch,
Sure, whatever.
and chocolate, and so I mean, you know, you got the Three Musketeers.
Nougat.
You got the no, bro, not the nougat. No, you got the Three Musketeers. You got the Milky Ways and the Kit Kats. Like those are my favorite.
Kat?
No. Oh, how about wait? How about the Hershey chocolate
Cookies and cream.
No, oh,
Yeah, Hershey's cookies and
oh,
cream.
man.
Yeah,
Those are good too. But they have like the Crunch one. It's like the Nestle Crunch one, made by
those are lame.
Yeah, it's called a Nestle Crunch Bar.
yeah, I guess so. But just the mini. I was thinking
That's
the
lame.
ones that come in like the variety packs.
Mr. Goodbar.
No.
Oh no, it's
No.
a Crackle. It's Crackle. That's the Hershey one. Is Crackle. Is the
How about
Mr. Crunch.
Butterfingers?
Butterfingers are good too. I like Butterfinger
gross.
BBs. Remember those?
Yes, I remember.
Butterfinger BBs.
I remember seeing those on commercials for Saturday morning cartoons at like
With
6.
the Simpsons on it, Bart Simpson. That's all I remember.
That is gross. I hate peanut butter. God,
It's Butterfingers considered peanut butter?
I mean,
I don't think there's peanut butter in Butterfinger. It's caramel, isn't it?
I don't know what it is.
No,
It's gotta be. It's
I
gotta be
think-
peanut butter or something.
I think it's like a Nutella type thing. You know what I
It's
mean?
not that,
From
what?
my
Do you know what
cupboard
Nutella is?
It's like chocolate
No, it's
It's
not.
hazel-
like chocolate.
it's hazelnut.
stuff. Yeah,
Nutella
hazelnut.
is the worst thing on the entire planet.
Nutella's
What is Nutella? Nutella's
Nutella.
good.
No, it's
Nutella's
not.
They're those Ferraro Rochers.
No,
Those are
Nutella's
the
gross.
Those are the best.
With a what? I never heard of those.
Ferraro Rocher.
That's too big of a word.
It's like a truffle in the gold wrapper.
Oh yeah, the little balls in the gold wrappers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are good.
Oh, yeah.
The inside of that is Nutella. That's all it is. It's made by the same company.
Interesting.
The more you know. That's another interesting fact for you. Just like your interesting fact about hockey, where Dez's favorite fact about hockey is that you can change during the play without stopping.
You can change like your jockstrap.
You could substitute in and out during the live play. Isn't that right?
Right.
Isn't that right?
Yeah. So
Didn't you say that?
yeah. So I said it's cool how you can change lines. during-
It's also cool how you can wear ice skates on the ice. That's the cool part about hockey.
yeah, cool part. Cool
So
part.
how'd
about
the-
hockey,
Anyways, how'd the Rangers do this week?
bro. Oh man.
Here we go.
Don't even get me started on these Rangers.
Didn't they win a game?
And no.
Didn't they beat Arizona?
Yeah, but like
Not,
there
not
was
good
just
enough.
not the worst team in the league. Like barely escaped by, but I mean like it was I don't know. It was just so painful to watch still. Like they are so unorganized and like so disoriented out there. And I mean, to talk about this and to talk about the Rangers and how badly they've been playing, I think it's time to hit up the power play.
Bow, bow, bow.
Powerplay.
right, guys. So I'm joined here with the boys from the Blueshirts Breakaway with Ryan and Greg. Guys, say hello.
Greg, after you.
Well, you technically just went first, so I don't know what to tell you there, buddy.
Please, hello, my name is Ryan. This is my co-host, Gregory Kaplan. Greg, say hello.
There you go.
Thanks for inviting us on. I appreciate it.
Yes, I appreciate you guys being here and taking your time out of your day. So this is going to be the Fire AV segment here. And I know this is a hot topic between you guys for sure after listening to you guys and all that. So the first question I have for you guys, whoever wants to go first, is, well, I know this goes back to Greg probably a year and a half ago, I believe, when, Greg was like the conductor of this train when it first started about Fire and AV. So, that is, when did you realize you wanted AV fired? When did you realize you guys wanted him gone?
Ryan, I'll jump in first since I really did kind of light a fire under your ass to get this train going. For me, you have to go back 2 years for when the Rangers got embarrassed in the first round of the playoffs to the Penguins, and AV was coaching against the team who was playing a style of hockey he wasn't familiar with, and AV never adjusted. And once you see your coach unable to adjust against the best talent in the NHL, I think that's when you really have to look hard and ask yourself, is this the guy that we need leading this team? I think the Rangers have graduated from a point where making the playoffs is an indictment or a signal of a successful season. I don't think making the playoffs for the Rangers has been enough ever since they lost to the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals. That was the first year where I think it was very obvious and clear that the Rangers didn't play up to expectation. There were a lot of reasons why they didn't play up to expectations, and one of them were the decisions behind the bench and the utilization of the lineup. And I was ready to – I jumped off the ship then. And it's been 2 years, and he's done nothing to win me back. So
true. And
for me personally, I was late on the train because once AV released his greatest hits during the Ottawa series, I got right on the bandwagon. It was tough when he was putting out defensive pairings of our best friends, Halden and Saul, to close out playoff games. That's really when Greg kind of pushed me over. He gave me the gateway drug and led me over the edge with the AV fire train there.
Yeah, and I would also agree too. Obviously me being a fan of your guys' podcast and everything too, is when it seemed like especially at the end of last season and the playoffs and everything like that, I think that's when it was around the time when you hopped on that too, Brian. And that's when I think I also was like, damn, everything Greg's been saying for the past all these episodes and everything, like you finally start to see it. And not only, just really opens it up for you, I guess, in a way.
And let me be the first to say that I hate when Greg is right. So the fact that he got this early is really shitty for me.
Yeah. I'm definitely not the kind of guy that'll just let that hang over your head forever either. So it's perfect.
Definitely not. It's like when you wanted to trade Chris Kreider. It's exactly. I would never bring that up on a podcast. That's not ours.
Still think you could find a trade that works, but not the point.
Okay. Next question, my dear friend.
No. So going back to what Greg was saying about how AV not putting out the right people and everything like that for like 2 years ago in those playoffs. So what do you think his system, the way the NHL has changed now, it's become more of a speed, fast type game, not so many grinders really anymore, and not so much toughness, obviously, with everything changing. But do you think AV's systems is currently the right one, I guess, for the Rangers? I mean, as of right now, their season is blowing, so it's like probably not, right?
Well, when you say system, are you talking about his style of play or the way he utilizes players?
I mean, that was another one of my questions. So we could talk about both right there, I guess, but first, system, meaning the way he wants the team to play the game.
I don't know if let's call a spade. I'm not 100% sure AV has a system. I don't know what his system is. I used to be pretty certain of it, and it was more of a wide open style of play where AV liked to utilize speed with odd man rushes and put players in a position to basically outskate their opponent. But it's almost as if the NHL has adopted a more wide open system that it seems like AV, in response to that adoption, has turtled a little bit and almost wants to slow the game down. And I just don't think I think it's clear it's not working. The Rangers can't put together a defensive performance to save their life. And I think it's because AV is trying to play checkers while other coaches in the NHL are playing chess.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I totally agree with Greg there. I mean, this is something we go over and over and over with about AV. It's his system in general. Like, obviously, even last year when his system was kind of working, you saw Grabner was able to perform at a top level using kind of AV's quote-unquote system of the breakaway odd man rush deal. This year, it seems that he's not putting the players in. We're going to talk about the position fit kind of right now, but he's not putting players in positions to succeed. Not once. You won't see players like Buchnevich, for example. We're recording this on a Saturday, just played the Arizona game, had a 3-point night on the fourth line. Now, he was finally put in a position to succeed against the worst team in the league, but that's because AV finally started playing him, and he was like, well, I can play my fourth line against the worst team in the league with 0 wins. You're not going to – there's a lot that needs to change with AV. His system is not the first thing.
Ryan, while we're talking, I know you and I will talk about this a lot on our podcast on Monday.
We shall.
Thursday night, didn't you feel like, I feel like you and I turned to each other like, wow, Buchnevich is on the ice a lot. Did you get that feeling?
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like he was on the ice every other shift. It even felt like they were double shifting him at some points.
Second lowest time of ice for Buchnevich.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No,
but it's crazy because every time Buchnevich was on the ice, he slapped you into your face. You noticed him.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even think you and I were going out of our way to notice him. It just kind of turned out to be one of those things where every time a noticeable play happened, I would look at who was on the ice, and every time I saw 89. And then, after the game, he had the second lowest time of ice of Ranger forwards.
Wow, we're going to do the exact same conversation in 2 days, but that was incredible. I seriously, if you would have had me put money on it, I would have put top 5 minutes.
No, second lowest.
Great, wonderful, I'm the best.
You totally noticed Buchnevich was out there every time a play happened. Like you said, Greg, you just knew that he was out there. It was something, and that's so stupid the way AV rolls his lines, and you got Buchnevich down on the fourth. It's like beating a dead horse, I guess, in a way.
Well, that's the thing. It's not even with the thing let's talk right into because this is where the conversation is going, which is asset management, which is basically the first 5 complaints I'll ever have against Alain Vigneault. It's not even how he rolls his lines. I think the way AV rolls his lines is appropriate. It's just AV doesn't understand what his best lines are or how to construct a line to save his life. The fact that Pavel Buchnevich and Kevin Hayes aren't playing together on the second line for the New York Rangers is a crime. It's a fucking crime. And it doesn't make any sense that they're not doing it. Hayes is maybe having the best offensive run of his NHL career with the Rangers. Yeah. And we just said Buchnevich, every time he's on the ice, he's slapping you in the face with all the talent he has and the ability he has to create opportunities. Why wouldn't you want to put your best playmaker with one of your other best playmakers and just see what happens with that line? The fact that it hasn't happened yet is, to me, the biggest red flag you could ever have about a head coach. The fact that he's not seeing this, that almost every person who watches this team on a nightly basis sees, and he's absent-minded.
So let's just say, thinking, I guess it would be in a fantasy type of way, but say if you did put Hayes and Buchnevich on a second line, who do you think the other winger would be?
It almost doesn't matter, really.
It almost doesn't, but I would say JT Miller.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends so in this scenario, we're assuming the top line is what? Mika Zook-Nash?
Sure.
Or Mika Zook-Kreider?
Right.
I think whoever's not on that top line, you put on that second line. So if you want Kreider on the top line with Mika, you put Nash on the second line with Hayes and Booch.
Yeah.
And then
it all works. You just want to get your best talent out of your second line center, because right now Desharnais is who you're running out there.
And he shouldn't be. Desharnais should be, honestly, Desharnais should probably be below Boo at this point. Boo had a good enough. I know it's one game, so it's the biggest knee-jerk reaction ever. But
Yeah.
What Desharnais is, and there's nothing wrong with just saying what he is, which is, for lack of a better term, he's a grinder. He'll win you face-offs, but he's not going to produce anything offensively in a meaningful way. I think even 30 points from Desharnais would be surprising. Just give Boo a shot on the third. If you put Boo between JT Miller and Jesper Fast or Michael Grabner, whoever you want to put on that line, I don't understand why it has to be the way it is. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know for sure that line's not changing now. It's over, buddy. Like, they're going to be the next 4 games. AV's setting his ways. Wow, it worked against a team that won no games.
Well, I know
run it 5 more times.
Because Pavlik is starting tonight, and AV is saying, well, it's because he's the hot goalie. So I know nothing's changing. That's the problem. Thank you for being.
That's an injury thing. This same conversation is going to happen. Anyway,
AV's on record saying Hank's healthy. All AV has to do is say Hank's injured, and then we'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. AV's saying Hank's healthy, and he's playing the hot hand. Yep. Those are his words.
That's disgusting. I don't have a better way to react to that.
You're right.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's like literally the 7 main points to fire AV right there. It's not hard. Coaching in the NHL is hard, but it doesn't have to be this hard. And for whatever reason, AV feels like it has to be this hard.
Not hard is the perfect way to describe me right now. So there you go.
So
back
like
to your podcast.
So like, do you think there was a reason when why he broke up the KZB line? Because they were the hottest line to start the season, and then it's like, what is the reasoning behind that? Do you guys think?
Let me answer for Greg. Yeah, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yes, he's an idiot, and he broke it up, and he took Buchnevich down to the 4th line. But there is an actual, realistic and completely understandable reason for breaking up the KCB line, because the other 3 lines weren't doing anything, and you need to get more production from everybody else. And sometimes the way to get more production from everybody else is to share the love. But then it's also a double-edged sword where, like, it's, he could do that, but then he's not giving enough time for these other players to create some chemistry with each other. Well, it's not just that. It's just when you shake it up, you don't shake it up by taking one of your 4 best players and putting them in a position where they're not going to play. And you don't take your second worst or worst center and put them in a position where they have to play 17 minutes a night. Like, you don't cut off the nose to spite the face, which is basically what AV did.
Right.
Listen, we're playing Nick Holden on penalty kill. Think about this for just 1 second. We're like throwing Stahl and Holden on a penalty kill in the dire situations of a game. This is what I'm talking about. There's no way that should happen in any single universe. But yet, we signed Shattenkirk. We are supposedly deeper defensively, quote unquote, and this is what we're still doing. So this is the world I live in, and I will continue to live in for the rest of this year.
It's unreal.
And that goes back too with AV playing wrong guys at the wrong time. Like, what was that last year? I think it was when they had Tanner Glass on the ice to like kill off the penalty or something, and we were up by a goal. Or
well,
something.
It was Tanner Glass, Nick Holden. It was Tanner Glass, Smith, Stahl, and then the other one was Holden on game 2, I believe. But yes, you are correct. And Tanner Glass, a national hero and treasure, to be loved forever. But it's sad to see him go.
Yeah, it's fair to say that AV is not the only stupid NHL coach in the league, because Tanner Glass is still getting meaningful minutes in Calgary ahead of very good players. So it's not like this is a AV only problem, but I can only worry about the problem put in front of me. And for me, that's Alain Vigneault being the coach of my team. I just have no
You have to think that Tanner Glass is like the nicest guy, because if he wasn't, how would he be getting all this time? Can't play hockey. Has to be such a cool dude in the locker room, like buys everyone beers, like taking people out, taking care of the problems. That's it. He's got to be a cool guy. That's all I'm saying.
Probably. Probably, but that leads me into the, a nice little transition here into the next question, though, is speaking of the locker room, is what do you think the vibe is in the locker room? And do you think the team is behind AV 100%? Do you think his voice is resonating to these guys? Because, by like the looks of it, there's certain games, where at least to me, I think you see Lundqvist playing and Lundqvist makes a save and he looks just fed up. It almost seems like he's barely trying. He makes like a pad save and then he gets up all gingerly and stuff. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I'll start this one, Gregory. You can take it from there. I think the trading of Derek Stepan really impacted this locker room, and that's because he was there as he was kind of a mainstay veteran, even at the age of 26. He had the around the mic segment or whatever that was called. He seemed like a lively guy that kept everyone together. And trading someone like that was kind of like a glue guy in the locker room. And I hate to sound like a 1970s hockey coach here, but a glue guy that was a real personality that kind of livened everything up and was really respected. Once that's left the locker room, it changes the whole culture. And then you're bringing in some guy named Tony DeAngelo, who is now also down in the AHL, who may or may not be, according to reports, have some sort of attitude issues with things. And then the locker room in general just seems to be not listening to AV, because when you're losing, it's hard to build a culture no matter what happens. Building a culture with any losing streak is going to be tough on any team. So I think AV's words are lost, and he does support the veterans, but I do think there are certain players that still respond to him, such as like Nash and more the veteran guys, but I think he has lost some of the team. Is my feel for it.
I personally think it's hard for any locker room to be with high spirits when you're losing, and the Rangers have done a lot of losing to start the year. I don't know if players have turned on AV per se, but kind of going off Ryan is saying, the chemistry that we've seen in previous seasons definitely isn't there. A big part of the reason is Derek Stepan not being in that locker room. And I honestly think the other side of that coin is these guys haven't had a lot of time to play together. There are a lot of new faces in that locker room, and Alain Vigneault almost every night is changing things up, either with defensive pairings or along his forward lines. So not only are these guys brand new to each other, but every night they have to play 15 minutes with a guy they may not have played 5 minutes with in practice. So I think it's a complication of both those things, where you no longer have that veteran voice in the locker room in Derek Stepan and Dan Girardi for that matter. And now, you don't have any chemistry with the guys you're supposed to be playing with on a nightly basis, because on any given night, with the exception of the last 2 or 3 games, you don't know who you're going to be playing with when puck drops. And I think that weighs on people.
Yeah, that is a good point. And like you said too, Derek Stepan and Dan Girardi, they were all both homegrown players, so they've been there long enough. Like you were saying, so it does all kind of make sense there. So, moving on to the next one. This is a big one. So, what is it about AV that you don't like the most? Let's just say,
I hate his gum chewing mouth. I hate him. I hate the gum. I hate his stupid Canadian hair and everything about him. His defensive pairings, his ability to coach hockey, his ability to steal money from my organization that I love and take something from me. The playoffs this year that I'm determined to hate. Listen, I don't know what you wanted from me. We shit on AV all the time. It's all we do. It's constantly what we do. So, you've heard us complain about him constantly of everything he's doing wrong. At some point, there's a time for a change. The Yankees, I know this is not a baseball podcast. I'm sure we'll talk Mets at some point, but the Yankees just got rid of Girardi when he did nothing wrong. AV's done things wrong. It's time for a change in the organization, and I'm ready to move on. Just not Lindy Ruff, please. Thank you.
Yeah, if the question is to pinpoint one thing more than anything else is he's just a fucking idiot when it comes to asset management. It really gets down to that. He doesn't play young guys just because they're young, or he doesn't feel like they've proven anything. But it's a fucking you can't have someone can't prove something if you're not putting them in positions to do so. And AV doesn't understand that conundrum. So this is a team that says they're rebuilding on the fly. And if you're rebuilding on the fly, that means you have to play the young guys. then you have to have a coach that's willing to play young players. And Alain Vigneault has never been and will never be that coach.
So who do you, obviously not Lindy Ruff, but who can you guys see taking over that coaching position if this happened?
I think Greg and I both want the same guy. Pretty sure we both want the same guy, right, Greg?
Daryl Sutter?
Oh, Steve Valiquette, baby.
Valiquette's on record saying he's not coaching until he has a family.
Yeah, I know. But we both want him. So
I would love Valley. Valley has smart views, and he's a guy that's thinking – he's trying to think of the next 3 moves before he completes his first move. And I think that's the right mentality to have when you're being a coach of a team. But if we wanted to go guys that I think realistically the Rangers will entertain, first and foremost, it will be Lindy Ruff, which sucks. But as far as long-term goes, I like Chris Drury. Drury's kind of in the same school of thought as Steve Valiquette. I think he would be very interesting behind the bench. I think Drury himself wants to be more in the front office, but it's a conversation I would want the Rangers to have with him. Mm-hmm. And if not Drury, I mean, look, Mark Messier, he's the captain. What if Mark Messier was behind him? It would be hard to hate Mark Messier. Let me put it that way.
It would be really tough for me to be like, well, Mark, you did terrible tonight. Because no matter what I said, I was like, I love that guy. I'm in love with him.
Yeah, I do think the Rangers would probably look for someone who has ties to the Shield a little bit, as opposed to what they did with the last couple coaches, which is go outside the organization. I think they might look within themselves next time just to calm the fan base down a little bit. So nothing wrong with that, as long as it's still the right guy. And the Rangers have plenty of guys connected to this organization that can be coaches. So,
yeah. I mean, there's outside of the organization, like you mentioned, Daryl Sutter. I think there's Dan Balsma or whatever his name is, the old Penguins coach. I mean, both those guys are Stanley Cup, winners, coaching their teams, previous teams, and everything like that. And I mean, I don't know if
it's not like they did a great job. They had Phil Kessel, Sidney Crosby, and Malkin. Like, sorry, and yeah, I won a Stanley Cup. Yeah, me too. Like, I could coach on that team.
Yeah, Sutter didn't have those guys. All Sutter had was Alain Vigneault as the opposite coach, and that's all he needed.
Burn.
Like I was thinking too, is like, was maybe that a reason why they bought Lindy Ruff in to just kind of, give AV a little like, shit, there's this guy, standing next to me who was the head coach at one point, and maybe kind of like light a fire under his rear end, but that doesn't seem to be happening the way these Rangers are playing currently. So,
yeah, I still don't know what the whole. I mean, Lindy Ruff is a perfectly fine coach to have on his staff. It's just I think we're at a point now where we've seen enough of him to know he's not much of a head coach himself.
Right. So. Yeah, but I mean that's about really all I got for you guys.
Fresh out of questions. That's it. The fun's already over.
I mean, we can keep going if you want. We could talk about.
No, it's Saturday afternoon. I got shit to do.
No, so
yeah, Stranger Things isn't going to watch itself.
Yeah, my wife was just watching that last night. But anyways, so. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day here to come do this for me. So thank you guys.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate it. So check them out. You guys want to plug?
Oh, yeah. Greg and I, we do a podcast that comes out every Tuesday morning called Blueshirts Breakaway. It's a little tiny Rangers podcast. It's the #1 Rangers podcast ever put out ever. And then also you can follow us on Twitter at Blueshirts Breakaway. Greg tweets a bunch of great stuff.
I do, yeah, and you could also join us on Patreon if you want to subscribe. We'll do stuff for you, a little extra.
Yeah, throw $1 in my face. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
We'll give you some good times. Got a nice group of people that like to talk in the Discord. Dave, that's how we met you, bro.
Yes, that's right. That's how you met me. So
exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, man. Thanks for having us. We'll talk to you soon.
That was the fun fact. The reason why I really dislike the way the Rangers are playing this year is because of AV. So as you just heard, yes, the fun fact for me,
the not so fun fact, probably
all of that stuff. But I mean, is definitely has a lot to do with AV, and as everybody just heard. So
I'm pretty sure like the last 4 episodes we've had on this podcast have been fire AV. And this one, you just went full into it.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And again, I want to thank those guys for coming on the Blueshirts Breakaway podcast. Those guys are awesome. Ryan and Greg, thank you guys. Moving on. So what else has been happening in the NHL?
The Red Wings aren't playing good, if anyone wanted to ask.
No one cares. All right, talk about them. Go ahead. Your turn.
The Red Wings lost 2 games. They lost to Buffalo. And
Aren't
then
they like 5? Like, aren't they? There's like some stat I saw, but
they're certainly
They have
not.
some sort of
they're
record.
just not playing so good right now.
They actually did set a record with they won their last 12 shootouts in a row. Apparently, that's never been done before. I don't know. Who cares about that though?
That's pretty good, I guess.
In the league or in the league or franchise?
In the league.
Oh, interesting.
Like no one's won 12 shootouts in a row before, but who cares about that?
That's crazy.
But they lost to Buffalo 1-0. And then they
Not going to win a whole lot of games scoring 0 goals.
No, exactly. They lost to Tampa Bay in a close game 3-2.
Did Kucherov score?
Did
Yes,
you?
Kucherov
No,
scored.
Kucherov's back, like, was that behind the back, like no look pass he had to Stamkos in the?
No, it wasn't behind the back. It was just a cross ice pass, but it was in between 3 guys.
Oh, dude, that was insane.
And then
you
Stamkos
That was a nice
did the
pass.
Stamkos thing and hammered it home. So
Did you see Justin Williams pass in the Carolina game the other day?
Yeah, I don't think he meant to do that on purpose. It just happened.
I don't know. Justin Williams is like a sneaky playmaker type.
And then the Wings beat Florida in a shootout. So
Congratulations.
we've got Arizona tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be a win.
We have the Golden Knights tomorrow. The Rangers do, and that's going to be an absolute.
It's not tomorrow.
shit
It's
show.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought you were still
Stop
talking about
saying
the Red
today and tomorrow.
It's
Just say
tonight.
Tuesday. Pronouns.
Yeah.
Everybody knows we record on Monday nights.
They brought Anthony Ciu back, and he scored in his first game back. So there's that.
So it was nice to see you, Anthony Ciu.
It was. Yeah, but now there's reports saying that him and Mrazek are trade bait. So,
Anthony Ciu?
yep.
Why'd they sign him then? Why did they trade
So
him when he's restricted free agent?
I don't know. But that was
Then
the
they,
last
then they
thing
want to
I
have to
read.
trade Sheehan and Sproul or whatever, right?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
that's all that's going on. Oh, one cool thing about the Red Wings, actually, as I was reading this morning, is that for years and years and years, it's been tradition to throw octopus on the ice at the Joe Louis Arena.
No way.
Okay.
I saw this. Go ahead.
The other day, a fan threw an octopus, whatever you want to call it,
Octopi.
onto the ice at the Little
Octopi
Caesars
will-
Arena. He
Uh-oh.
threw, and they didn't kick him out of the game, and they didn't ban him from the Little Caesars Arena either. So they're continuing to let it happen, which I absolutely love, and I respect that too. So,
Right, but
What?
meanwhile, somebody got arrested for that recently
yeah,
for throwing something on the ice. I forgot what it was.
Where do you
It
even
was-
buy octopi at?
Somebody named.
fish markets.
How much does an octopi cost?
I don't know. But I used to know that they actually, weirdly enough, and what happened in the Joe Louis Arena, which was right next to the river in between Detroit or between Michigan and Canada, they would actually just take it outside and throw it right in the river, which was fresh water. So, like, this octopi would just be, I mean, the octopus is already dead anyways.
Are they alive or what?
No, they're
I was
dead.
gonna say.
But like, to dispose of them, they would just take them out back and throw them in the river behind the
Like-
arena.
Like a sailor at sea? Just
Yeah.
cast them overboard?
Yeah, but it's funny, like to throw this dead octopus which lives in the ocean into a fresh water river. Like this
like-
octopus
it's
can't
fish
even he can't even
Yeah,
be
fish
buried
bait.
where he was born. Like like it's like a Viking memorial or something. Like
They say, close enough. It's
yeah,
water.
they literally just take him out back in a wheelbarrow and like dump it into the river behind the Joe Louis Arena. I'm not sure what they do about it now, being that the arena is like right in the downtown area of Detroit, but
Just throw them in a dumpster in the back.
yeah, or maybe they serve it at some restaurant or something. Who knows? But
Homeless people.
Ugh.
homeless people, yeah.
Sure. Whatever.
But yeah, so the guy didn't get kicked out or banned, which I think is awesome. So
Awesome.
So when are you going to go to Detroit and throw your own octopi?
I'm gonna go to Detroit and throw myself onto the ice, I think.
Just like dress up in an octopus costume and just jump
Also-
over the glass.
Speaking of the ice too, they were yeah, octopus costume.
just start squirming on the ice.
That would be worth the fine and the jail time, I think.
That'd be hilarious.
Can you imagine?
You won't do it.
You're right.
Or I just get naked and do it instead. That'd be pretty funny too.
Just paint yourself purple.
Paint myself purple. But also, apparently, there's reports that the ice is really bad at Little Caesars Arena, and I guess it's like causing complaints and stuff. That also could be because we're losing a bunch of games. But they said
it's not our fault. The ice is bad.
they said it's really, really soft and really snowy, and they're kind of equating it to like a Winter Classic game inside the Little Caesars Arena. So they say that's not good at all.
It's an outdoor game every game.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so they say, well, I mean, because the Joe Louis Arena had a reputation of being some of the best ice in the league, too. So
yeah, don't they have regulations on like the ice conditions and stuff?
Yeah, apparently, and they said they're in talks with them, and it
weird.
meets the regulations, but it's not meeting the regulations that,
it's like
that
on
the
the
Joe
low
Louis
end.
Arena had. Yeah, it's on the low end. Yeah, so it's like
That's weird.
the Arizona Coyotes of ice, apparently.
Shots fired again.
But other than that stuff, it's the Red Wings are playing like horribly.
So do you think I should just show up to a Golden Knights game and throw a Golden Gia monster on the ice? I say what?
You guys didn't seem to enjoy my mom and Angel meeting the Golden Gia monster.
Is he even the real guy?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Does the real guy even have a personality underneath the costume? I've never seen the Gia monster do it, or Chance, I should call him, do anything except for that little mean tweets.
Yeah,
segment.
has he even been in the arena? Like, does he even walk around or like play a drum or anything? Like,
I'm pretty sure. I'm probably doesn't play any drums. They have a whole drum line there to play drums.
That's true.
I don't think they'll have a mascot play drums. That can't even see out of his mouth. Probably. I don't know.
That's probably
Weird.
true.
Weird. I don't think he's gonna last very long though. Maybe this year and that's it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Nothing's better than Youppi.
How do you feel about Youppi, Des?
I hate that thing.
Why do you hate him?
It's just what is it?
What team does he represent?
He's from the Expos, that's why. Montreal Expos, and they carried him over to the Canadiens.
I know. It's just
Canadiens de Montreal.
He just stands there behind the glass and just swings his freaking hips around and just and it's like he's just humping the air, and I'm
And it's usually after the Rangers get scored on. So
I know. That's real.
Man. Should we do the new teams for the power play for the next week or what? Is it about that time?
And yeah, I mean in a hot second, but I want to also talk about
whatever.
Let's talk about that Superman punch that that Kevin Bieksa threw Radakudis. Oh, dude, I mean, like it was it was pretty cool to see. I mean, it was almost.
I didn't see it. So.
I mean, it was almost a cheap shot in a way when it like comes to a fight, just lunging yourself at him and just
and trying to hit him.
Right, but then like once I saw it was Gudis that guy was getting, I was like, I don't care. He's a dirty player anyways. You know what I mean? He's a little rat. So.
You call Gudis a little rat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure if he was on your team, you'd love it.
I thought Brad Marchand was a little rat.
Marchand's a rat too. We can, we can just have like a rat segment like next week. We can talk about who we think the rats are in the
Who do you think the best rat in NHL history is?
But yeah, no, we could. No, I'm just. Well, you should totally look it up, Dylan, since you haven't seen it. It's pretty impressive. The lunging.
You never saw any of the videos on Instagram or anything?
Yeah, it was all over Twitter.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
The lunging Superman punch, man.
Was it on the slow-mo video of the week that NHL put out or no?
No, it wasn't.
Well, that would have come out today because it's Monday. So
yeah,
Des watched the whole thing, just looking for that Superman punch. I don't know. Did it happen last week though, or I don't know.
It happened. Wasn't it Tuesday?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh no, it was on the 24th. Whatever the 24th was.
That was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it happened on Tuesday, and it wasn't on this. Wasn't on the slow mo video. I'm pretty disappointed. NHL. Thanks.
Maybe they didn't have the high resolution camera there for that game or something.
Maybe they don't want to promote fighting.
Yeah, speaking of the high resolution camera, that NBC didn't cover the NBC Sports didn't cover the Pittsburgh Penguins Edmonton game.
What does that have to do with the high resolution camera?
Instead, they cut. Well, just because their cameras weren't there. You know what I mean? The NBC Sports cameras weren't there. They weren't.
Okay, but I'm sure there were still other high res cameras there.
Yes, but regardless, they didn't cover the Pittsburgh Penguins Edmonton game. We're talking about Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid, the two best players in the National Hockey League, and they didn't cover it. You know that they covered. I think that was a Detroit game that one night. And they covered Detroit and I think it was Tampa.
Yeah, no, I think it was Detroit and Buffalo.
Yeah, Detroit and Buffalo. Who gives a crap about Buffalo? The nation doesn't care about the Buffalo Sabres. The hockey world wants to see the two best players playing against each other. And I think Connor McDavid had a late goal in the game to win it. And how awesome would that have been to see it on national television? But shame on you. NBC.
Well, you can't have Pittsburgh and Edmonton on every week. They have to have other teams too. There's other people that care about watching the teams.
Yeah, it's like Monday Night Football. Like every team plays on Monday Night Football once, even if it's like a horrible matchup. They still have to play.
You would have thought the way the NHL and the way the NHL and NBC Sports is, and it's all about that money and everything. You would
plan better.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have planned it better and would have put the to see the two
biggest stars
in the hockey league play against each other. But anyways, let's get this next power play going. Rob, you got that bad boy loaded up?
Sure. Okay, you got that out of your system?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So you want me to go first since I haven't gone first yet?
Yeah, please save me for last this time. Maybe I'll actually get a decent team.
Okay. Well, here we go on EA Sports NHL 18, loading it up. Sponsor us.
Shout out to Rammer.
My team for this week is going to be the Philadelphia Flyers. Ooh. Let me mark this down on my little note sheet here. Philadelphia. So, Des, you want to go last? So, Dunk's turn. Duncan. I'll look up the Flyers schedule in a second here. Let me just bust out the teams. Your team is going to be the Washington Capitals.
Oh, good one.
Oh, good one. Yeah, cool. All right, so we'll go to schedule in just a couple seconds. Des, you are the Vancouver Canucks. That might be easy because they'll might lose every game.
They beat the Wings.
Well, sucks for the Wings, I guess. So, who'd I get? Philadelphia?
Yep. Looks like they have 3 games coming up here.
Oh, I wonder who's going to win that game on the 5th.
They got a back-to-back at Chicago and at St. Louis. I don't know. Philadelphia's playing pretty well. And then they got a game Saturday at home against Colorado. So I'm going to say they're going to win that game. So it's 2 points. And
that's a tough back-to-back.
Yeah, I don't know.
St. Louis is good right now.
Chicago's not good, but I think just at home they got to turn around sometime. So I'm going to say Philadelphia is only going to get 2 points this week. So what about Dunk? You got the Washington Capitals. Let's bust out their schedule real quick. Let's see. 2 games. Thursday and Saturday, because we don't count the games on Monday.
All right. At home against the Islanders, and away against Boston. This actually is a good segue for me because I was going to bring up how John Tavares had back-to-back hat tricks. So I think that the Islanders may win that game against the Capitals, surprisingly enough.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yep.
Right,
so I
John
think
Tavares
it's going to be I think it's going to be 0 points in that game. And then they had Boston. And I think they'll probably handle Boston quite easily. So I'm going to say 3 points, actually. So I think they'll
overtime with Islanders?
Yeah.
All right.
And then they'll beat Boston.
Handily, you'll say.
I won't say handily, but I think they'll beat them.
Okay. All right, Des, you got Vancouver. They got 2 games as well.
Yeah, we got 2 games as well. They're playing against the
hot
Devils at home and the Pittsburgh Penguins at home.
Home games.
I'm gonna go with a loss. I'm gonna go. They're gonna get 0 points on that Wednesday and Saturday game, and that's gonna be that for them. I think.
Whoa.
I don't see them getting
Big 0.
I don't see them getting any.
Because the Devils are hot, like fire. Get it? Devils,
Hot.
fire. Get it?
Yeah,
Get
I
it?
get it.
You get it? All right, Dunk, you want to talk about Tavares? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't really want to talk about it at all.
Oh, that's all you wanted to say about it. So
Yeah, John Tavares came out of nowhere with back-to-back hat tricks, which is pretty trying to insert himself into that goal-scoring race, I think.
Or trying to get traded.
Trying to get traded or trying to carry a horrible team that are the New York Islanders.
They're not that bad, are they?
No, they're not that bad. They're not the Rangers.
They're not Rangers bad. That's for sure.
True story.
They're not Devils good either.
No, if only we could have our dear friend John Crispell call in and speak about the Islanders.
Well, maybe he'll call in next week or something and talk about John Tavares getting traded or something. Or maybe a new arena.
Talk about John Tavares getting traded.
John Tavares.
If you're the Islanders, do you trade John Tavares like this year?
Depends what you can get for him.
I think you get a lot, especially for like teams like Edmonton or something that's struggling.
Who do you think will be traded first, Tavares or Matt Duchene?
Duchene.
Yeah.
Duchene's got to get traded. Even though Avalanche like off to a decent start, they got to trade Duchene.
I think the Avalanche aren't as good as a team as the Islanders are, so I think they'd be more willing to make some moves than the Islanders would.
Yeah, Eberle's playing pretty good on the Islanders too. So
yeah, and Josh Bailey's playing pretty decent.
Yeah, Islanders have a pretty good team. So, but if they're out of it at the trade deadline, is John Tavares gone, or
where do you think Tavares goes? Toronto?
If they get traded, or as a free agent, I think in Toronto, maybe. But then Toronto, I don't know. You got to sign Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, all those guys here pretty soon. So they're. I think I
would let Mitch Marner go
if you get John Tavares.
Yeah, I mean, hell, like I would let Mitch Marner and Nylander go if I got John Tavares.
You just have Tavares.
John Tavares still has
Matthews as your top
Tavares still has 10 years left in the league.
Yeah, as being a number one center too.
As being an elite center.
Yeah, and then you can flip flop your number one, number two centers. You got Matthews and Tavares.
Yeah,
and pretty much all you got to do is build your team from the middle out. So
plus, I think that even if they do bring in Tavares, I think that the Nylander and Marner I think they'd be more inclined to. They're a good team. They'd probably be more inclined to signing, for less money if that meant they could have a better chance at winning.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, it depends how much money Matthews wants. What do they give Matthews?
Yeah, I think you give Matthews the entire checkbook, to be honest.
Especially when Tavares is free agent, how much money he wants.
Yeah, it's true. He's probably going to sign like an Ovechkin-esque deal for 10 years, $100 million or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like a Jonathan Taves trade. I mean, not trade.
Contract?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think
McDavid's $100 million man.
Yeah, I think Matthews will say as well. I think he'll say, well, McDavid just signed for this much and I'm just as good as him. So
yeah. And I mean, like, I think Tavares is at his prime right now. Totally. He's been in the year, how many years now? You know what I mean? I think this is his prime, and the Islanders could definitely get some good stuff for him for sure.
You could if you're the Islanders, if you trade Tavares, you don't have to rebuild because you still have a decent team.
Right.
You just get better. You get more players for Tavares. You're not going to get the same type of players Tavares, but you can get 2 or 3 players that you could still build your core around.
Right.
Eventually, you still have Eberle and stuff like that, who's still young and good. So,
I don't know if Eberle's been in the league for a while.
Yes,
doesn't mean he's not young.
No, I know he's been in the league for, I'd say, probably close to 10 years now.
Trevor Lewis has been in the league for 10 years. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and he's still in the league goal scorer.
This year, well, at the first 5-6 games, he was a league goal scorer. Not so much anymore.
Yeah,
that's true.
Kings are still dominant though.
Yeah, still waiting for Patrick Laine to show up for me. Blake Wheeler had a hat trick last night. So, and his one of his goals was pretty nasty. They against Pittsburgh, they had a new goalie, and he showed him, hey, this is the NHL, real quick.
Hey, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, this is the NHL.
What did they send down Niemi, or what happened to him?
Pittsburgh, I have no idea.
I don't know either. Probably shouldn't have brought it up since none of us know. Oh well,
that's all right. We'll talk about it more, but I think we should wrap it up now. You know, that was a pretty solid one. So, real quick, shout outs.
Oh,
we got to give a shout out.
We got some feedback finally on our social medias.
Yes, thank you for checking us out, hooking us up with a comment and a like on Twitter. That is for Jay at Jay Elsewhere. Thank you, Jay, for that. And
you
also
you get a sticker.
Yes,
you get a sticker.
Yes,
you get a sticker.
Rob will contact you where we can send you a sticker. And
what?
That.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And then also,
I guess I'll talk to you guys.
And then also a shout out to on Twitter to the @NHL podcast for posting our podcast up there. They're going to be doing that every week to help get the word out about us. So thank you to those guys as well. And also, again, thank you to the Blueshirts Breakaway guys, Ryan and Greg,
Chris Cox,
for coming on here and talking about fire and AV and all that. So
shout out Zach Boychuk.
Bill. Boko Imama, I'm coming for you. I want you on here. I gave up on Dustin Penner. He said he would come on, and then I haven't heard from him since. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Not showing up, per usual, like you did in your career, Dustin Penner.
Hey. He scored against the Coyotes in overtime to send the Kings to the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's true. You were right.
And then the Kings won the Stanley Cup.
And then he had some pancakes.
Twice.
Yep.
Twice.
So
who did they beat?
Twice.
2014.
Des?
Yes.
Who did the Kings beat in 2014 the Stanley Cup Finals?
I don't know.
Are you trying to erase it from your memory?
Yes. Try to erase it. Anyways, that is it. Follow us on all the social media apps, whether it be the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, iTunes Store. Like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Again, if you want a sticker, leave us a comment anywhere on there. Check us.
Send us an email. Axel sent us an email. He might be on the podcast next week talking about the VGK.
To have Axel, a good friend of Rob's, and
some fan interaction.
Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, we're planning to have a fan, one of our number one listeners on the podcast next week, Axel, to talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. So
he is known on the social media sites as Las Vegas hockey fan. So try and find him too if you want.
Vegas is the number one hockey fan.
Also, Chris Cox left us some reviews. He's nice, and my brother Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, shout out to those guys as well. So, like I said, Rob's going to get everybody's contact information.
Stickers for you. Stickers for you. Stickers for you.
You get a sticker. You get a sticker. You get a sticker. So, again, that wraps it up for us this week.
Got it covered.
So, I think we covered everything. Yeah.
We got it covered, just like Jeff
covered.
At Got It Covered podcast. They got it covered too.
They don't have an episode this week.
Never mind. All right, that was fun.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week.
And
next Tuesday as well.
Hey, that's my line.